And now you can see that the sucker here is already showing a bit more. I'm gonna eliminate the rest of the plant to give it more space. You can actually see it's kind of crumpled here. So
Forget about sustainability. You want to enrich ecosystems.
Every being is equipped to live a positive, energetic balance.
Keep it pruned.
We are cultivating abundance.
Not a problem to cut down trees. The problem is not planting them.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the Agroforestry Academy channel. Today I'm going to be talking about what to do with your pineapple plants after you've harvested. Now, there are a few different options that you can choose from, and I'm going to tell you what I choose to do here in the farm. So let's take a look at the pineapple plant after harvesting. So this one is a plant that has been harvested already. There is no fruit, but you can see there's a bunch of slips here. Slips are the names of these sorts of pup that grow from the stem of the plant. You can see some smaller ones here, which are easier to understand. You know what's happening. There's the stem of the plant. The fruit was right here in the middle, and the slips grow all around it. A healthy pineapple plant, depending on the variety, will produce up to 10 slips. You can see this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, apparently. And so after harvesting, the pineapple is going to produce the slips and the sucker, which is this one here, right? This is a pup that comes from the bottom of the plant. You can see that it grows from in between the leaves. So what's going to happen here is these are the best material to propagate your pineapples, right? The slips. Many people ask, oh, but can I propagate it from the top of the pineapple, right? The crown of the pineapple. Once you eat the pineapple, you're left with this part here. And although you can use it to plant, it takes a very long time to bear fruit. You know, it can take up to 5-6 years to bear fruit, whereas this one is you're gonna be harvesting in 14 months. So this is what you should be using. However, you shouldn't take these off the plant immediately after harvesting, because it's better if you leave them be attached to the plant for a while so that they grow, and when you replant them, they're already bigger. So for example, these ones here, these are not in the proper size yet to grow. You want them to be at least 25 centimeters big. So let me take one of these out so we can check out the size. There you go. This is a very decent pineapple slip. Look, it's about 45 centimeters long. Okay, this is really good. It's easy to plant because, you know, you're going to bury it all the way up to here. There's no risk of dirt falling into the middle. So this is a great plant. It's going to grow nicely. It's not going to take too long to bear fruit. It's not going to be overshaded by other plants. Especially when you're working with agroforestry system that there's other plants growing around, you really want big, healthy pineapple slips as propagation material. Okay, so this is very important. So here's what you're gonna do. You shouldn't be doing this with bare hands. If you mind getting your hands all hurt, I don't mind that very much, so it's all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my pruning scissors for that. I'm gonna cut the stem here, removing all of the slips. So there you go. Here are my slips, all of them. Let's see how many we've got. I'm not going to take them off the stem yet because I'm not going to plant them immediately. So I have, look, on this side we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, there's the other one that I already took off, so that's 5. And then on this side I've got 1, 2, 3. I think that's about it. So 7, 8 slips. If you're getting from 8 to 10 slips, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good healthy plant. And now you can see that the sucker here is already showing a bit more. I'm gonna eliminate the rest of the plant to give it more space. You can actually see it's kind of crumpled here. So I'm gonna take my machete, it's gotta be sharp, and I'm going to take away all of the rest of the old plant to give enough room for the slip to grow. And of course I'm gonna put that organic matter in the soil. You don't have to eliminate all of the leaves because the plant is still feeding the slip. So you really just want to give it room. It's more about giving it room than eliminating everything of the old plant. So there you go. Taking away some additional leaves, the ones that are broken, and there you go. You have a healthy new pineapple plant coming through, and it's gonna produce nicely. Again, so I'm gonna actually leave this on the field so that it gives me another pineapple. Here in Brazil, there's a saying. People say that the fruit from the sucker is the profit of the field, right? So the first harvest is actually just to pay the expenses, and then this one will actually be the profit because now I don't have all of the expenses, the investments of planting it. Some people are going to take the plant away and replant the whole field without allowing for this sucker to produce. And if you're doing very large plantations and you need a very specific harvest time, you need to be very systematic about having certain amount of pineapple at specific time. Maybe it makes sense to take all of the plants away and replant them so that you have more of a homogeneous growth. Because here, I'm going to have different pineapples releasing these suckers at different times, and I'm going to have different harvest times. But that for me is fine because I'm dehydrating the pineapple, so I actually don't want to have them all bearing fruit at the same time. It's better for me if I have the harvest, more spaced throughout a longer period of time. So one thing that people do is take the plant away, replant everything with the slips, and you can actually use the mother plant to produce a bunch more pups, because if you get the stem of the plant, if you strip all of the leaves, you're going to get a stem, and if that's put in the soil or in organic matter, in a shaded environment, kind of moist, it's going to start sprouting because it's got lots of buds, and it's going to start sprouting these new pups. And there's actually a video from Matthew Reese from What's Ripening. I'm going to link to you here. He shows what he usually does with the pineapples when he takes them away and how he produces some pups like that. So you've got these two options. Leave them be so that they will produce another harvest. There are farmers who will leave their pineapples for over 6 years in the field, so they will get 4 or 5 harvests. The interesting thing is that this pineapple is already a lot more advanced in a stage of growth than a new slip that I would have just planted. So I'm going to be harvesting this in 6 to 8 months probably, whereas a slip would take me 14 months, 16 months to harvest. So this is of course something very good. And it is interesting to notice, and I'm going to show it to you, if the pineapple is not healthy, or if it's if it's sick by any chance, it won't produce this sucker. I'm going to show you one that is sick here. So you can see a couple of ones here that are sick. You can see that they've got all of the yellow leaves, the fruit is rotten, the slips are not growing properly. This one is going to be eliminated. You can see that it did not produce a sucker. It's actually a dying plant. On the other side here, I've got a plant that, the fruit's not so good. It's got some fusarium in it, but the plant is not completely, dead. There is a sucker coming through here. it's probably going to get a chance to grow a healthy sucker. Let's take a look at some other plants. This one, it's kind of all right, but it's got some fusarium attack here. You can see the fusarium attack here. I don't see a sucker coming out. You can see it's only producing two slips. So this goes to show that the health of the plant is going to determine if it's going to produce healthy slips, if it's going to produce a sucker or not. So this is something to bear in mind. And one important thing is that, at least over here in Brazil, I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, we have a very big problem with fusarium attacks in pineapple. And of course, the healthier your plant is, the less susceptible it's going to be to attacks. But what happens is that when you buy these slips from other farmers, they usually already come sick because they already come, infested with fusarium. So it is a good thing when you're producing your own seedlings, because you're going to select the slips only from very healthy plants and plants that were not attacked by fusarium. Because this is interesting. Check out the field. I've got this dense field of pineapples, and some plants had no attack of fusarium at all, and some other plants are completely destroyed by fusarium. So of course I'm going to select only pups from those plants that were not attacked by fusarium, and the ones that gave me good fruit and that are producing a healthy sucker. So it is a great thing about starting to produce your own slips. And if you're getting, let's say, an average of 4 slips per plant, you can always be, every year you can be increasing your field by 4 times. So if you plant 1 hectare, in a couple of years you can have 4 hectares planted, and then 16, and so on. So it's definitely a good point to be in, a good moment to be in when you're producing your own pineapple pups. So I thank you for watching. Let's take a look at some more pineapple slips. If you're new to our channel, I'm leaving a card here for you to check out our Agroforestry Academy full course. We've got over 5 hours of lessons for you to get acquainted with all of the concepts that we talk about over here. And do smash the like button. If you like this video, make sure you share it with your friends. This is the best way you can help us to grow the channel, to spread out the word. And if you want to take a step further and help us out, support the channel, you can join us in our Patreon community. Here's a link to our Patreon community. We're weekly sharing extra material with them, extra videos or some complementary material to these videos that we release here. And you're going to be able to participate in our Q&A sessions, some bonus webinars we do every now and then. So, make sure you check that out. And I'll catch you all in the next video. So I'm Felipe for the Agroforestry Academy, and I'm signing out.